Hello, listeners, and welcome one and all to the Playtesters, a real play podcast where we play and, in some cases, test out new tabletop role-playing games that are not Dungeons & Dragons. Come with us on a fun journey as we learn how to play together as a new group of players with new game systems to play along the way. In this session, we are getting to experience Session 0 of the game Fabula Ultima. Take a listen as we co-create the world that we will be playing in. It's going to be a blast.
Thank you for the warning.
Yeah. Thanks, AI.
So we are starting. All right. So welcome to Session 0 for Fabula Ultima. My name's Eric, or GM Duality Complex, or the Groggiest Grognard, whatever you want to call me, along with Hey You, and then some other expletive deleteds that I'm okay with being referred to. This is going to be a pretty streamlined process where we're going to start with going through some shared world building. I'm going to do surprisingly little today besides ask 7 questions from you guys. I do want everybody to contribute at least one thing for each of these, but some of them you're going to have come to a group agreement. So keep that in mind. We're going to make characters together as well. That way I can answer questions while we're doing that. And we're going to choose a group type for you guys to function as, because Fabula Ultima asks, why are you a group and why do you continue to adventure together? That way we can skip that whole tired, you meet in a bar, nobody trusts each other, and now you all have to come up with reasons why you're going to trust and work with each other. I'm too old for that, too gray of beard. Thankfully, the system agrees, and we can skip all of it. So, before we start, do you guys have any questions for me?
Only a statement in case you may not have noticed. I did drop a fillable PDF character sheet in the Discord app if you need it.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, if there are no questions, let's go ahead and start the questions. The first thing that Fabula Ultima has us do is your standard Session 0. Safety tools. I feel like we've already done that as a group and we don't need to redo that here. I'll say that with this game, I don't get any darker than Final Fantasy VII as far as content's concerned. If you've played any of the Final Fantasy games or Chrono Trigger, that's as dark as I get with this game. Death of a character is not something I can impose on you, so you can not worry about that. The system says if you want your character to die, when you get to 0 hit points, you can sacrifice yourself. You get to do some really cool stuff right before you go. Otherwise, you can just surrender, and then we figure out some narrative consequence for the surrender. So that part of it is off the table unless you decide you want it on the table.
That's kind of fun.
It is. And there are some fun things that can be consequences when that happens. And we'll talk about some of that with character creation because it touches on themes or loss of gear, maybe a setback to the story. There's a lot of neat fun things we can do with that. The first question that I'm going to ask is something you all have to agree on as a group, but it may sound a little silly. If this is a game we visit more often than, say, 2 or 3 times, this will come into play, and that is, what is the shape of the world? In my current game that I'm playing in, the shape of the world is a globe resting on the nose of a cosmic capybara. So you can get as outlandish as you would like in this. But what is the shape of the world we are in?
Man, that's such a big. That's only the first question, and it's so big.
Yeah.
Man. Okay. I'm just gonna throw something out there. This doesn't have to be the thing, but just to get something going, to get the juices flowing. What about like the infinity band, like the sideways, that sideways, the infinity symbol, right? The sideways 8. But
Yeah.
So it's like sort of flat. It's sort of flat-ish, right? And kind of like, weaves around a little bit. So that's just my idea. It doesn't have to be just that, just trying to start something.
Is it that but flat, or is it that but it's like a cylinder? Like it's cylindrically
Ooh.
like going around in like a
Like
figure eight.
like a Mobius strip almost.
Yeah, Mobius,
Is that
right?
what
Like
it's
a
called?
Mobius strip,
Yeah.
Mobius strip infinity
Oh.
symbol, whatever that is, right?
Okay,
But
cool.
I like the tube. I like the tube idea. What if there's what if it's outside and inside? So like there's an inside world within the outside world. The inside is inside the tube part of the world, right? Where it's its own environment, maybe like not necessarily Underdark, but just like a separate like environment, whatever atmosphere. So like if this kind of became a more recurring thing, something could involve being in the core where it's like inside the tube, but then mainly we're on the outside of the tube. And then depending on how close we are to the sun determines if it's like wintry all the time or not, maybe. Just a thought.
I like that. Oh yeah, how do planets work for this one? Like how cosmic do we want to get with
Yeah.
it?
Oh, fair.
Or is that going a little too far, Eric?
No, that's you answer that question.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want with your little end of the cosmos here. So
Do we want the planet to be like the center of our universe and everything revolves around it? Maybe going inside like the Mobius, like the circle part.
Like through the holes.
Yeah, like through the whole.
Oh,
The moon, like there could be a moon. There could be a moon, like a moon and a sun that go like through the holes.
Oh, I love that.
that's
Right.
cool. Okay.
I love it.
I like that. I'm gonna draw it so it makes sense in my brain.
Mhm.
Yes, a strip. Is it tube? Is it tube shaped?
I
I think so. Right,
Yeah.
instead of being like
Yeah.
like flat,
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
it would
Yeah.
just be in a tube, but the
So-
same like shape
Oh,
Right. Now
Right.
your tube, is it everything's on the outside, or is it there's stuff on the outside, but there's also stuff inside, like the gooey center of a jelly donut?
Yes.
yeah. So it's
Okay.
like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I like
literally.
that.
Is it literally like a cylinder, like, but it's like hollow inside it? Is that what we're
Good.
talking about?
Good question. I don't know that. I mean, it would be hollow to the point because it would have like its own what do you call it? Like biome inside,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So whatever that would be. So then the outside would be more like the outside of it would be more like your standard planet type. Like if it's like fantasy world, whatever we choose, like it's just more your standard, like, oh, there's green grass, there's a desert, there's a different environments, right? But maybe we just know the shape of it, but we don't like we know the shape of it, but it never feels like we are it's like, the flat earthers, right, of saying like, oh, well, you can walk off the edge or whatever. Like it doesn't feel like that ever. It's like there's gravity, right, where we could probably walk around it, and maybe the only time it looks odd is when you can see in the distance and maybe
the
at a
world.
certain time of day you can see the
Yeah.
other part of the world going the other way.
Oh.
But like I feel like that would be kind of far away if we're going to have depending upon where you are, if a sun and a moon are going to like orbit through the holes, right?
Yeah.
So, but just something that I think that's kind of a cool, like you're walking, then you're like, you take out maybe like a telescope or binoculars or something, and you're looking like maybe a couple 100 feet away, and you see like a family like on a farm doing something like in another part of the world, Does that
So
sound all right?
like when it comes to, so this might be a little specific, but how would like gravity work? So if like you're saying that you're looking at something from maybe like miles on the other end, if like something like fell, like would it just bounce back up where they are, or would they like fall all the way where we are?
Oh yeah, like if you could see them with the telescope, right? They would
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
gravity would be normal for them based
Yes.
on like which direction like the ground is facing, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
I feel like there would be a cutoff point where it's like just an invisible line you don't see that says, okay, it's almost like that's the ceiling, right? So like
Okay.
Yeah.
like the likelihood of you throwing something up in the air and it being able to get through that to then go to the other part is probably slim to
Slim,
none, I would
yeah.
say.
Like
Okay.
Halo, like the game
Yeah,
Halo,
that's what I-
where like we could see
Yeah.
it going
Yeah.
up, But
Uh-huh.
Yep, you run on the ring.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds. I like that. I think that's cool.
That's a very good idea. I love it.
Yeah, this is neat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of leaning in a little bit on you. You said like a jelly donut. Like, what if it's just a jelly donut on the inside?
Honestly, I first thought donut with what is the shape of the world.
See? Maybe the inside is is like the inside has like a jelly filling, but otherwise it's still like places where people can inhabit. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, something like that maybe. Because I don't like it. Does it? Do we? It's like, oh, should it be like lava and like all hot and scary and stuff? Like I don't know that it needs to be.
Maybe some areas are, and some areas are
Yeah.
Straight up like the stuff of Nightmares Underdark.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
Or it's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, where we start out from is the jelly donut, the jelly part, right? But as we travel, we end up in a town that has the custard center, and the town on the other side of that is the cream filling, and the town on the other side of that is chocolate cream or something like. Yeah, and like I could see the inside of it being a resource almost
Yeah.
of some kind that just changes as the land changes.
Like stop fracking in the jelly center.
Right, yeah.
That's solid. I'm seeing the first sticker idea already. Don't frack the jelly center.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Okay. I got all that down. Any more on the shape of the world? Or are we pretty much set on Mobius strip with a tube shape with, gravity planes, and the interior could be a resource that people need?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
The next one, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to take some license here and just hand wave this. If we were building a map, this would be more of an issue, but it's called Travel Day. I'm going to talk about what it does, though, so when we use it in game, at least what's happening. So typically we would set up a map. I use a hex map for Fabula Ultima Overworld, and we would determine how many days it takes to get from out of one hex to the next. Typically I do 1 day per hex or 2 days per hex. Every day that you're traveling, you roll a travel die. On a certain roll, you discover something. That something could be as simple as you found a treasure chest in the middle of nowhere, and look, there's some stuff inside of it. Or you could, as we in one of the games I played in, find a town of legally distinct not Smurfs that you have to solve an issue with. So the travel day, I'm going to be honest, we're going to kind of skip over that one, and I'm going to hand wave it at least until or if it becomes relevant to us through play. But I am going to use the travel day mechanic. The next one, this is a biggie. This will probably take you guys a little bit to talk through. It's the role of magic and technology. And I also like to put in with this, think about kind of like what era in time your world is in. Is it pre-industrial revolution? Is it a sci-fi world with, spaceships and laser guns? Is it a fairly typical high fantasy? How does magic technology work in your world? Also, if you want to think about like one of the flavor things we do in a lot of my games is what kind of animals fill certain roles. So we use dinosaurs instead of horses and cows because we like prehistoric animals, and it's kind of fun to have those in their place. So things like that. What are those roles look like for you in this world?
So dinosaurs are going to do all the jobs that like machines do, like in the Flintstones. I'm just kidding. That's not. That's just the first thing I thought of when you said dinosaurs. I feel like magic. What do you guys think about like? I almost feel like it with the magic aspect, it should be almost in one of two extremes. Either it should be like a common everyday occurrence that anybody and everybody can just kind of do some level of magic in some capacity. So it's like everywhere, or it's like scarce and not around as much.
I like the idea personally of like magic being like a something that like people have to study. Um, like it can be either like I mean I like it being either like the science or mystery aspect of it. So that I don't think matters all that much to me, but I really love the idea of like if you're going to be using like fireballs and lightning, or even like any sort of like levitation spell to help you along, like Merlin in the Disney movie, Sword in the Stone. Like it's something that you put a lot of effort in to be really good at, and it's like an amazing thing for someone to see.
Now, you could also like be a hack because you went to like an online magic school or something, right? Like, sort of like just I don't know, just kind of I like the idea of it being studied as long as we don't get too like probably too Harry Pottery, in that regard.
Yeah.
Hey there,
But
kid. Would you like to see me turn this seven of spades into a king of diamonds? Something like that.
that's the hack magic, right? Sleight of hand and that kind of stuff.
I think,
I go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, I think it'd be kind of interesting to have magic as almost like this almost mysterious rarity. Because I always love it, like when like you're in a role playing game or in a video game, either or, and when you find like a really great, powerful resource, like it's like the Shack meme where you're like I can't believe I found this. It's, so that's just always my preference. Like if we do have magic, I would personally love it if it was really shown to be something not only like important, but just everyone is like oohing and awing over what we just found.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
That's cool. I like that too.
We live in a fantastical world, but you know what? Fireballs, that's kind of whack. That's kind of neato to see.
Yeah. What if you kind of, so then it becomes more of like a scarcity concept, right? Because it's kind of, so there's a special rarity to it. But then what about to incorporate, Christian, what you were saying, and actually include like that there is still in sense like a process of learning it and studying, but so it's more of like there are a handful of people that are studied that can really do those magics, and those are the ones that are teaching others.
Like special
but there's not, like maybe or not even, maybe it's just like, oh, I have to go to this specific guy over on way on the other side of the whatever our world's going to be called, and they go all the way over there to meet with this one guy that's going to teach him this one type of magic, and it's going to be at his house or in his town or whatever. It's going to be like, oh, stick with me, kid, and I'll show you the ropes kind of deal. I don't know, like if we do the school, I don't think that should be the only way. I think it should be like a mix of like maybe there is a school somewhere that might have a few together, but then there might be other offshoot people that like are more specialized that kind of don't want to be part of the school, and so they kind of do their own thing. But it's still like the whole lore of like somebody actually has to like study it, learn it, whether it's at a school setting or actually from an individual that teaches them.
So magic would not be inherent. It wouldn't be something you were born with. It would have to be something that you would learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like learn or be like have like very, very specific special circumstances for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's more of a practice, fully in that practice realm, rather than that like I am the chosen one.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So then, if if that's the magic side of things, well, I guess should we talk about technology first, or like the overall setting, like if it's sci-fi, fantasy, that sort of thing?
Do we want like medieval, like early like colonial like America days, or do we want like Western or like modern? I think those are like the four general time periods for like technology.
You also forgot like far future.
Oh, and far future.
Yeah.
I did not think of that. Good reminder. Yeah, or like far future. Those are like the five like main ones that I would say.
I will say, like, probably just. Oh, sorry, you go on.
No, go on.
Oh. Well, only because I'm just like a huge fan of it. But this is just an idea. But I'm a big fan of Arcanum. So it has like magic, but it's through the realm of like, or the guise of you're in the 1910s or 1920s. But you know, there's these like magical creatures that like orcs with, you know, tuxedos. You know, so it's just I always thought that was just like a really neat gimmick that idea had. So that's just like an idea to throw out there.
Oh, we could be like a 1920s noir film with this. 1920s noir with like within a Mobius world, and people can cast spells.
Like prohibition going on somewhere.
Yeah. You go to your
I love that.
Suffragettes.
Yeah, I got my create whiskey spell right here.
It's gonna be.
I love that.
Roaring. So it's like it's Roaring 20s.
Roaring 20s.
Roaring 20s, featuring things like prohibition and suffragettes and on the verge of like, so also too, if you think about, that's probably right before what, like I can't remember what the actual era is, right? But when pre-industrialization, almost like right at that cusp of like where stuff's just starting to happen, and from an industrialization standpoint, like because you still have like modes of transport, things like that, but you haven't quite stumbled into, hey, I just built my first assembly line factory. Like that's what I mean when I say like that whole, like that bridge into where you're starting to do like that level of industrialization. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be kind of wild, man.
Does anyone else have any ideas?
That's so crazy.
I'm just open to anything. I just don't want it to just be my idea.
No, I love the idea.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I mean, you think of the shape of the world and the fact that it's like, it's going to have this, the whole world's going to have some level of this Roaring 20s type of vibe going on. In appearance is very interesting, considering there's magic. And like we talked about the Roaring 20s from a like just setting standpoint, but what about the tech? Is it Roaring 20s, but the tech is far future, or is the tech like further back? Like the tech doesn't have to match the visual setting, right? So like because I'm just looking at the third question, and the technology piece was another big one, alongside what Eric said about like what animal roles, or what role animals play, right? Was that what you said?
That was just an example I gave, but
okay.
You can go anywhere you want with this.
Got it.
I kind of like the idea of us, like, you know, all being together in like a little buggy, you know, like early like Henry Ford, like cars. You know, there are still some people with like, you know, whatever animal we choose, drawn carriages, but like for the most part, like we're starting to get into like more of that, like right at the cusp of the industrial revolution, like you were saying. So you're starting to see like, you know, more steam engines with like, you know, trains. You've got your like first ever like automobiles, maybe a couple of different like types that are coming out, and you've got in terms of like just general technology, like you know, electricity is like a little bit more widely spread, but it's more in the way of like light bulbs and like being able to like play like records and stuff like that.
It's almost more that like steampunk vein.
Yeah,
in a way.
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost.
But alongside that, what if there were either constructs or automatons that were created with things like steam? Maybe there's a handful of them that are created from electricity and they're a little unstable still. You know what I mean?
What power source do we want? Like, because it doesn't have to be electricity. It doesn't even have to be steam or gas. It could be whatever we want. Because there's that resource that we were talking about being like core to the whole.
The jelly. Yeah, the jelly inside the. Yeah.
Maybe like the jelly, Mobius jelly is like the thing that powers everything. And like we get
that's a great name.
I'm writing it down too.
Mobius jelly is the fuel that is the main energy source of the entirety of this planet.
I love it.
And for now, we just think it's endless. It's an endless supply.
Yeah,
like we're never gonna drain it, right?
We'll never run out of Mobius jelly. Trust me when I say that.
I can already see like the old school, like the like pharmacies used to do like the old school advertisements for their tinctures and their magical potions for the Mobius jelly too.
Radiant water.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So then like these automatons and constructs are fueled by jelly.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah. Sounds like a place I want to live.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this already.
Yeah.
So follow up on this that didn't get touched on, but I think is important with this type of technology level that you're going toward, along with, magic being something that you have to learn. How do these two things view each other? Do they coexist peacefully, or is there like magic's the old stuff, we need to get rid of it, it's scary, it's mysterious, only these people over here have it, they got kind of a stranglehold? Or is it like, hey, magic's great, it's just another side of the coin, it's the exact same? Like, how do you guys view these two things working with or against each other?
I'm thinking,
what if
go on.
All I was gonna say to like start some thought grenade or drop a thought grenade and just say, what if it's like in the concept of old money versus new money?
Yeah, I like that.
Right?
Yeah, that's cool.
So magic is the old money. It's established. It's like there's not a lot of it, right? Because it's old money and there's only so many rich people, right? So I'm just using it for analogy's sake. So it's like that's the old money, right? Is like the magic users. And some people want to be traditionalists and go that direction, and then there's also people that want the new money, so they want their weapons powered with jelly energy and all these other things to make them more modern, right?
Yeah. So like magic to be more expensive. The technology stuff would be a little bit cheaper, not drastically, but a little bit cheaper maybe, and more accessible for people.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
and I almost feel like people when it comes to like what fuels the planet, right? So we say jelly is like the main resource, but I almost feel like there should be people that are like trying to be like, hey, I got this thing called steam over here that works pretty good, and people are like, nah, it's jelly. We're not messing with that steam. Or it's like, oh, what about oil? Like where'd you get that from? Well, we use jelly around here. Like whatever, like just something to think in terms of maybe there's this like some factions like the jelly won't last forever, and like they're trying to like introduce other ways to energize things maybe.
Okay.
Wind energy? I never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm on jelly over here.
Just ignore the sun.
Right. Yeah.
The sun's only on that side of the Mobius. You know, it's on that side of the Mobius for like 3 days, so you don't even get to see it over here for like, you know, the half the week. Solar energy, that won't work.
Inconsistent.
Okay, that brings up a point. How long is it? What do you consider a day? If the sun's over there for as long as it is it is it a day when it's here or there? Or do you consider days to go even when the sun isn't present in your section?
I think that just as an idea to get it going, what if there's a standardized like day, like to throw out, you know, what we know as conventional. There's a 24-hour day, but depending on where you are on the Mobius just determines like how long and like when you get to see like the sun or the moon.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think there's also the opportunity for you can go that. You can also say like if it would be overly if it had 2 suns and 2 moons, so in each part of the Mobius there'd be a separate rotating sun and moon for each side, so like everybody gets a little something something. So that is also an option, but I do like the concept of the cycle being that one side, you know, each side gets one part gets the moon. So then would it be, and I'm probably getting too deep into this in the weeds, but like, does that mean then that like there's a sun and a moon, but like they kind of go, oh, what if each one spins around through the hole one time and then they switch sides and then do it like, and it's this weird ass orbit, right?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
That's cool.
And then you still
the whole thing with gravity with it, right?
So then anybody that lives like, so if you're like if I gotta actually like, so like say if you're like either if you're here or you're here, you get just bare glimpses of sun ever. So like maybe those would be like maybe that's where like
the night kingdom is.
Yeah, exactly, right. Like the the night creatures or whatever that send, you know, daylight is like they're super sensitive to, so they have to wear like cover their eyes and shade their eyes and skin and stuff, you know. That'd be interesting.
Okay. I think I got enough to work with there. Which brings us to the next part, and I think there was a good segue into it. Kingdoms, nations, and cities. We don't need to build a whole world here, but I'd like to have at least one really good fleshed out city, possibly 2.
I actually came prepared with a city that I was really proud of. So it's called Darkstone Hollow. Also, anybody at any point jump in and be like, if you have an idea for this, just say it out, because like this is a base for people to kind of collaborate on. So Darkstone Hollow, and it's called that because it's known for the stone and the soil there is all black. So all of the buildings use the stone and the soil, are all these like pitch black buildings. It's got like really like kind of like a Halloweenish vibe where like a lot of them are in a Gothic style, but like all of like the street lamps are they have flames in them that are like green, blue, and orange, giving it a little bit more colorful of a vibe. And the streets are kind of aligned with like lighter stone, giving it like a more like outlined kind of look inside the city. It's known for 2 things. It's known for the forest that's around it. It's a dark pine forest, which they use for lumber and they use for paper because they have a massive library that they use all the paper for. I feel like this would also be a really like perfect place to be on like the darker side of the world too.
Yeah.
So what if we think in terms of placement on the Mobius tube world, maybe that's like the capital, so to speak, of, because if, say, assuming that we're playing, we're going to play a couple sessions, right? We're not going to see the entirety of this world by any means. We're going to be in a chunk of it. So maybe we say like that world, as we continue to flesh it out, could be a capital city of one of the dark sides, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe like its neighboring capital city is a city that gets more of the regular sun and moon routine. So it's maybe that's a city that's a little bit more brown, more of a presence of like your more like regular trees, chlorophyll and all, like just the whole the standard going on, right, with like green leafy trees and stuff like that on the outskirts of it. And that's kind of the only thought I had. But like in some ways it should probably counter what you're talking about, right? Because that could be like a
duality thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then we may or may not see some sort of a mirror image on the opposite side. That maybe might be like there might still be a dark one that's still dark, but maybe the other neighboring city on that side has a different vibe to it than the one on the side we're in currently. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, I like the idea of them having like mirroring cities like everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, what do you guys think about like and it doesn't mean that the dark city just has bad people in it. It just means that it's dark. Right? Like it could just be that simple.
They've just adapted to that.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Biome.
Yeah. And like they're just hanging out doing their thing. They're working their jobs and they're working their 9 to 5s or something along those lines, and they're going home.
They just they live the vampire life.
There you go. Yeah, yeah, right.
All the
time.
Like it's perfect for that because it was supposed to be like a more gothic looking city.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is basically the Gotham of our world.
There you go. So do we want to focus on just having a dark one, or trying to focus on loosely enough on a dark one and a light one so that we can kind of have that duality going?
I like duality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Duality.
Because I almost feel like it would just mirror the other one, right? So it's like, oh yeah, we make paper too, but we make paper to wrap gifts with or something. I don't know. Like it's not quite the same.
It's Nightmare Before Christmas. One city is the Halloween one, the other one's the Christmas one. It's always snowing there.
Oh my God. Well, it's getting. Maybe. I mean, that's possible, because if it's close enough to the dark one, it's getting some sun, but maybe not as much. I think
swap them around too.
Yeah. I like the idea of like a more like naturey, crunchy, hippie looking city that's like really on board with nature. It can snow there. But like I like from a, like when you're mentioning the Nightmare Before Christmas, I'm thinking more from a visual perspective of the appearance, more so than an actual Christmas town you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I was just throwing out a joke.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like the idea of like them both being like paper places. Maybe one of because maybe the one side has like all the paper for books, and the other side it's not just like gift wrapping, but it's also like packaging and like it's like harder paper, like cardboard.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're like, we make cardstock and cardboard here. Son of a bitch, what do you got to say about that? You with your book paper. Oh, yeah, because they can make book paper and like tissue paper and stuff. What if they made tissue paper too?
Yeah.
You know?
All the soft paper stuff.
Yeah.
You've got like the one jelly engineer there being like, I've created the first like paper copier.
Oh, man, this is so freaking weird. I like, so they are paper producing cities that produce different. So they are both producing paper products. One is focusing on things like paper for books, notebook paper, tissue paper, that kind of thing. The other one, the lighter city, is the one that's making like cardboard boxes. They're doing like corrugate and cardstock and like thicker stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, and because they're also both like so focused on lumber, maybe one side of them is like more about like creating like furniture and stuff with the wood, and the other side is more about like, you know, like house lumber.
Okay. All right. Can we call the darker city, so like the first name that pops into my head is papel, Papel, which is Spanish for paper.
How you spell that?
Papel, papel.
Okay.
Just a thought, doesn't have to be that.
What is like?
Oh wait, no, you gave a name. What was your name again? Sorry.
Oh, my name originally was Darkstone Hollow.
Okay.
But I mean, it could be like Dark Paper Hollow or like noir, like Papel Noir.
Papel Noir.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Because
Papel
then the
Noir.
other city could be like Papel, like I don't know what the word for light might be. I don't even know where like, I know noir means night. I just don't know. Is that Latin?
I honestly don't know.
Oh no, it's French. What's paper in French? Papier. Papier.
Yeah.
The other one's just papier.
Yeah.
Papier and papier noir.
Oh my gosh. I like that. Papier it is. Papier and papier noir. Noir. Let's say noir.
Okay.
How much more do you need for these places?
I think I'm good. I'm going to delete Darkstone Hollow from that side and move it over to here in my general notes. But I got a 1920s noir style Gotham-ish city that uses jelly for its technological resource fuel. There's also magic, but it's, you know, kind of old money, stodgy. The city's known for producing paper products, mostly lighter end paper products and furniture with lumber. And then it has a mirror city, and this is going to happen across the Mobius, where cities have mirrors of each other. This one focuses mainly on heavier duty construction items with lumber and heavier cardboard material, which is new to the world kind of ish. Because they figured out with how to make that machine that makes it using the jelly. That's what I got so far. Oh, and the noir city is, very Gotham inspired. And the non-noir version is kind of hippie, crunchy in its aesthetic.
So if we have papier noir and then we have papier nouvelle, which should be new paper.
Like that.
So yeah, that's one suggested edit I'm going to make to the more crunchy place, is that it's nouveau, papier
like,
nouveau.
This can go into the whole theme of like old and new, where like papier noir uses more magic, and papier nouvelle uses more of the jelly.
Heck yeah.
That's where I was going to go too. Is how does the magic and the tech work between the two.
Yeah.
And I like
so
that.
Papier Nouveau, even though it looks hippie crunchy, is the more technological city, and Papier Noir is the more magical city.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. Got it. From each one of you, I want one historical event.
Ooh.
I'm not going to tie names to it. I'm just going to
That's a thinker. Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's better in history than than a war? So what's better in history than a war? The war of the the paper conflict, the paper war, just to keep it around like the two cities. They're both parts of two separate kingdoms on two sides of the Mobius. And they had conflict before over rights to the lumber and the forest, and so there was a 2-year conflict between the two of them that was resolved due to it was resolved because of them deciding to make a union between the two of them. So now that's why they kind of work together, but they still have a rivalry. If I think of something better, I'll throw that out there too.
Okay. Conflict over the rights to the lumber and the forest. Since they're on opposite ends of the Mobius strip, they can get to each other relatively easy depending on geometry. And their war was over the lumber to use in their paper products. And they decided to come to some kind of sharing agreement, which created a trade union between the two of them. But they're still kind of rivals, but it's more under the cover than it is in the open. Is that what I'm getting out of it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's number one.
Jesus.
Do we have any chosen one events, do we think? Or any great prophecy kind of things going on in this? Or is this just a world that's moving forward?
So with great prophecies, I would say hold that in reserve, because the next question after this is going to be mystery or enigmas. And I think that would fit better in mysteries and enigmas.
Okay.
I think I have one, kind of going with the theme of the 1920s. I want to go with the Prohibition.
Nice.
So just from what we've talked about, I don't know. I either want to do either a jelly prohibition or a cardboard prohibition.
I've been feeling jelly this whole.
I like there being a jelly prohibition, but only certain kingdoms are anti-jelly, and then certain kingdoms are okay with it.
Well, I was thinking maybe just so we're not, making this too complicated with the world building. It in my head, maybe it's a jelly prohibition that has lifted, but the after effects of how do people feel about it? It is the main talk of the streets. It's people get into a tussle over the subject of jelly, even though it's a main staple now, but a lot of people have been living without it, or really wanting it, or having a black market. And now that's lifted, there's a lot of major conflict over it, I guess, in the streets.
I like that.
Got it. I like it. All right. Looks like Bill stepped away, so there are two other people here that, I'm looking at Emma and Meg.
And I like the idea of the suffragettes, but I'm thinking more in terms of something along the lines of how the magic users, the old money, always had the power, but the new money, the tech, the suffragettes of the city are slowly gaining power, or have slowly, I guess, convinced the magic users of their worth to be able to have more influence in the city. Not sure. It's kind of like almost like a societal shift, a class shift is what I'm thinking.
Is that
in noir or nouveau though?
Yeah, that's
right.
That's the question. I mean,
maybe it's like just kind of like in general, like in most of the towns that are like starting to embrace jelly. Like
embrace jelly.
We embrace jelly in this house. No longer use custard. Like, is that what you're meaning though, Meg?
I think so.
Like kind of like a workers' union thing almost too.
Almost,
like
yeah. I don't know. I'm stuck on it, but I see it. Yeah, I don't know.
If I can help a little bit,
please. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing, and jump in, correct me if I'm wrong, redirect. But the magic users, and I'm going to go with noir because that's where you guys said magic has more of a hold. They're starting to slowly lose power because the recent prohibition on jelly has been lifted. And so now the technologists who use jelly, you're starting to get more positions in government and business. It's kind of like that turn of the century when the trade unions started to gain some power and some steam. You had like your Upton Sinclairs and all of them putting out their initial their books and getting up on talking on stage and, workers' rights, that kind of thing. And you got that kind of like societal split of, yeah, well, we could be rich like the magic users too if we just let them have more and more of the economy. It'll eventually trickle down to us, I swear. No, you shut up, you stupid jelly user. You have no idea what you're talking about. Jelly's dumb.
Man, this is starting to feel a little too real. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's kind of where I was hearing, and it was kind of configuring in my brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Give me jelly. Don't give me custard.
Give me jelly or give me death.
Yeah.
I can see it almost like an insult on the streets. Like if you like jelly, someone that is anti-jelly, they could be like, "Are you glazed?"
Someone like, "You're custard. You're custard."
We don't stand the glazers here.
Yeah. Yeah. Get out of it's just a bunch of jelly lovers. Get them out of here. So
gotta get frosted.
Is that Meg? Is that your idea? Because I don't want to. I have one in the chamber. I want to make sure yours is fleshed out how you want it though before I.
Yeah. I think we're there.
Okay.
If I think of something or a twist to it, I'll let you guys know. But
all right. So after so they have this war, and as Christian mentioned, right, and they had to come to a negotiation and a way forward and a way to get along, although there's still some sense of rivalry. And then you're starting to see the cities evolve or there. So there was then a jelly prohibition, which then as that was lifted, then jelly becoming more prevalent, then the suffragette movement started to happen, where more people started to want to claim seats of power and things like that, like Meg, you were saying, and then Eric was saying. And then after all that and all this togetherness and all this wonderful stuff came the great pulp shortage. And so for some reason, the trees in both Noir and Nouveau were delivering a fraction of the pulp that they were normally delivering. So because of this great pulp shortage, it caused tensions to increase, not lead to another war, but it caused tensions to increase due to this pulp shortage. And then it forced the hand of Nouveau went further into jelly in order to supplement the pulp with jelly to stretch it. And then Noir was like, you know what? We're going to make do with what we have. And they maybe saw like more of a focus on using magic to stretch it that way. So you have so maybe that's how like certain magic items got created, right? Because of this magic and pulp infusement and what that somehow enabled to happen. And then on Nouveau side, it was more of a jelly and pulp type of thing, which enabled them to maybe start, making different, functional shapes and things like that could do different things from maybe a weaponization standpoint, let's say. Maybe it's maybe they were somehow able to fashion jelly grenades and harden the pulp, right? And they found that they were making more money off that than making corrugated cardboard boxes. So why wouldn't they do this until they figure out what's up with the trees and that problem? And then it ends with the two cities kind of coming together again, using a little bit of the tech knowledge, a little bit of the magic knowledge, and figuring out the problem with the trees, and are able to sort of genetically modify the trees in a way to eliminate the pulp shortage in the trees themselves. So it's this whole thing happened, created offshoots of different ways for them to make different things within their characterization. And then it ended up sort of fixing itself, where it's almost back to 100%, but not quite.
Okay. I can make that work. I'm thinking, and just to bounce something in there, some kind of disease that the trees got afflicted by.
Yeah.
And the wood wasn't as, because there's all different types of diseases plants can get, and they don't fruit or whatever. In this case, it affected the quality of the wood, and it didn't make for good pulp, and it really brought the businesses to a grind. Got it.
Yeah, and then what if, to that point of them being diseased, what if the more diseased the tree, the more suitable it was to use in these other applications that were unique to the cities?
Oh, it's almost like it was planned.
Huh.
Which can go into mysteries. Okay, I like that one. Let's move into the to Emma's.
Yeah. So I guess kind of what's been marinating in my brain as we've been talking about all these events is, what if there was an incident that happened somewhere in the 2-year paper war that kind of made both sides oh, we got to rethink this, and maybe led to we need to learn to work together more so that we're not just awful to each other all the time. But yeah.
It's a war to...
What is the thing that happens?
I'm not sure.
Maybe it's just to throw an idea, because this has been something that's been stewing since we've been talking super heavily into the 1920s aesthetic. What if it had something to do with the local mob? Fantasy Al Capone was doing something.
Sorry, I'm so distracted, but maybe there's also like I believe this is 1910s, 1920s, but you could call it and this goes with the pulp thing, like the wood pulpit, the bully pulpit.
Oh.
It's like maybe a name for it.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
I like
Okay.
that. Uh-huh.
Okay, so like I said, I wasn't going to be talking too much, but since we don't have like the incident, what if we go up a level? So we got this incident 2 years in the 2-year paper war. It was a wake up call to both sides that led to peace. We have this disease with the wood that made pulping for paper kind of an issue. But we also have the suffragette movement where people started moving away from magic to jelly. What if there was somebody instrumental in that part that kind of came out? They became a public figure and they did something that brought it to an end. Kind of like marry three of those things together.
Yeah.
The venerable
Well,
Sir Thelorius, the mayor of Papier Noir. He's like, new guy who just like ran for who would like just run for mayor, or maybe in Papier Nouvelle, because like he is also connected to the mob, like secretly supplying people with like jelly. And like he's like he knew that like the prohibition was going to drop soon, so he needed to find another way to like keep his black market going.
I was thinking, what if there was a way to incorporate something to do with the disease that's in the trees actually manages to infect an actual humanoid citizen? And then maybe okay, so let's get a little dark and twisted on this one. So the mayor, you said the mayor that's in Papier Noir, right? Papier Noir. Okay, so his thing is the jelly thing and like trying to like that's part of the incident. But what if the mayor of Papier Nouveau is like, holy shit, one of my citizens has been infected by the tree disease. I need to lock their ass up. Hey, Papier Noir, can I give you this citizen to lock up so we can just hide this problem? Because if we just hide it, and maybe it'll just go away, because it's like contagion, right? So they sort of wrap it in a bubble and they're like, hey, could we like smuggle this over there and put it somewhere? You don't mind, right? You're cool with that? And then like maybe that's how the two kind of get back on good terms, is that they're both trying to hide some shit that they're doing. So they agree to work together again to hide the things that they're doing.
Eat it.
Go.
Go.
Is this like right at the end of the war, or is this like way beyond? Is this
well?
like
If this is the triggering, if this is the specific, like what Eric was saying, the triggering thing that kind of like fixed it all, so to speak, right?
Okay.
Maybe like I don't know, because actually, well, no, because I mean, maybe like it's just an idea. So. Now I feel like I should get one of my cats. I'm the secondary human though, so it's like
I'm being annoyed by mine.
He knows, or
my pretzels.
they know when other people have cats on screen,
for sure,
and they just need to be seen and assert dominance.
Yeah, my husky, she's in the back sleeping and he's being obnoxious. Okay.
But no, I like the idea. I was just trying to get like an idea of like when all these events like happened in timeline.
The timeline, yeah.
I think we had it though with like, so we said there was the initial war, then it was prohibition. Then it was suffragette. Then it was pulp shortage. And then Emma, you were talking about what happened during the war, correct?
Yeah. I'm kind of like, I don't know if it was some sort of just event that sparked public interest. Like if it was like a paper warehouse, one of them, there was like a big like explosion or thing that happened there that caused everyone to look and kind of, hey, we got to slow down, or something that impacts some sort of supply.
Yeah, I think that's cool. If there's like they're both trying to go like maybe they're trying to both go so quickly to get more of the trees that it causes like this huge like to your point of like issue at a factory, or maybe it's an accident where they're getting everything and like a lot of people on both sides die or something, right? And it causes them to be like, hey, we gotta stop this.
So you're kind of thinking along the lines of the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory fire, which was like the kicker for factory safety reform, and
that type of thing.
So that kind of an event.
Jesus.
What if just to tie some stuff together? What if them like fighting was also what caused like the tree disease? And like and then that caused like the whole like, you know, thing with the factory, because they were trying to do their normal production stuff on a diseased tree, and it caused like a bunch of issues. Maybe it even like if you try to make paper with a diseased tree, it does like Bill was saying, it infects the people around it, and like they all get sick and die, and so it made this whole cataclysmic event. And that's what caused them to be like, okay, maybe we need to like slow down, because like we're doing this stuff trying to steal trees, and it's causing disease and it's killing people.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we got historical events. This one, we don't need to go so many because, you know, we're not going to be. This isn't like a major like year-long project of a campaign, but some kind of mystery in the world.
New paper source. They don't know what it is. There's just a new way it'll somehow show up. Like when you had mentioned prophecies earlier, I was like, oh, there's a prophecy about
the legend of the golden tree, a tree that is infinite paper.
Or it's what if it's just some sort of bamboo adjacent type of material in a as of yet undiscovered third area that nobody's been to, right? Maybe it's like throw out. I was just going to say, maybe it's giving like Kung Fu Panda vibes, right? Where they like go, you know, they stumble upon this like this hidden city that's super, super old, and it's just bamboo everywhere, and they discover all these things being made with bamboo. Go ahead.
So since like we have kind of almost this feel of like we were saying, like a pre-industrial kind of like era, and then like, you know, making fun of like evil corporations, like how far, you know, this will go. Maybe like a mystery of like maybe these entities are kind of hiding like a way to recycle the paper and be a little effective with it. I don't know.
Oh, shady businesses hiding their secret of recycling.
They would never do that. Would they?
Oh, you don't want to know my personal conspiracy theories.
Conspiracies.
Okay. We're like that. We got a few things there. New paper source, something called a golden tree, bamboo style plant somewhere undiscovered, and shady businesses hiding secrets of recycling. That's enough to work with for what we're going to be our purposes. Major threats. This is where I would say you want to think about the BBEG or like hostile organization. What are you guys fighting against?
Big corporations. Just because we were going down that rabbit hole already.
Mm.
Maybe like the big corporations or even like the mayors of the town, because they're so like in bed with them, is an idea.
I feel like the mayors are just part, like it's almost like they're like
Figureheads.
they're kind of like a figurehead or like a mini boss, right? But in actuality, like the real threat is like the main company itself. So like to your point, there might be the two cities might each have their own BBEG, so to speak, because we're viewing the corporations as the big bad guy. So you've got the noir version, which everything's a little bit more like kind of lithe and sort of like dark, like gothic, vampiric, but like all with magic paper type stuff going on. And then you've got the papier nouveau side that's a little bit more hippie crunchy, and it seems like it's nice, but it just makes the corporation that much worse because on the surface you go to noir and it's like, oh, everybody's kind of dark and brooding and stuff, right? You go to nouveau, everybody's like chill and hey, how you doing? But then they're like, oh, you should go, check out this, and it's like the company that's like helping to take all the jelly to incorporate into the paper. And it's like they're just doing really terrible shit with this jelly to a lot of people and hiding all of it. And so it like makes them like inherently super like really evil. But the noir version is a little bit more calculated, precise, maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought of something based on what you said.
Yeah.
That I have to get out there. Evil origami ninja wizards. Evil origami ninja wizards.
Sentient origami paper creatures.
Yeah, I'm thinking like an origami like Batman too, because like the Gotham theme. They make these like origami like Batman ninjas as like their secret police force.
And then I like that. That's pretty. So if that's the
that's noir, because like they're all like they're magic and paper,
Yeah. So that's like that's the force. So it's like you've got to deal with them first, then you've got to deal with like the mayor who's kind of like bossing all them around, and then you got to go past the mayor to get to the actual corporation that started all of this in the first place, right?
And the corporation's kind of like, to bring up another like something we all know, it's like Shinra Corporation from Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Where the corporation itself is evil, but and the people who run it are just kind of like bumbling idiots.
Yeah.
You've got President Shinra and his son. But like the corporation itself is the really evil thing.
And Nouveau could be like the more grassroots-ish version, right? Where they're not quite as advanced or thought out. So maybe they have found a way to contain their jelly in an object that they then throw, and that object opens and that jelly can take the shape of whatever sort of thing it desires. Like knockoff jelly Pokemon.
Okay.
Jelly golems.
There you go. Yeah.
Jelly golems.
And then it goes like up, right? So it's like you start out with these, so there's like, and then there could be like jelly like attack dogs type thing, right? So like
The whole area would just sound so wet and
Yeah.
I'm just picturing like jelly golems versus origami golems. Like,
Yeah.
You see, when they mix together, the origami guys, it just like seeps into them.
And they get all
so like the
moist
jelly
and-
golems die,
And
but
floppy.
the origami guys then can't move because they're so sticky.
yeah.
I don't like the thought of that.
So they're evenly matched.
Okay. I think I got enough to build a session's worth of play out of these notes. Let's do the next part now, if nobody has any objections, and that is character creation. This is actually a very easy process. It looks a little different because it is a little different, but there are some things this game cares about, and there's other things it just doesn't care about. Does everybody have a character sheet handy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So the game doesn't care about your species at all. If you want to be a human, you're a human. If you want to be a talking house cat that is normal size to a cat, you can be just a talking cat. There's nothing mechanical that we need to use to set that up for you. So I would start there with your character concept. What do you look like? And then after you know what you look like, we have the fun part of picking classes. I'm going to hold off on doing your stats because your stats, I think, should be the last thing that you do. But as far as classes go, in Fabula Ultima, you are forced to multi-class. You do not have a choice in this. You have a choice into what classes you pick, but you have to take a minimum of 2, a maximum of 3. You start off at character level 5. That's essentially Fabula Ultima's first level. Let's just use a quick character build type thing. Let's say I want to be an Arcanist because I want to summon spirits and things like that. Kind of like Final Fantasy summoners. I have 5 character levels. I can devote a point to Arcanist, take Bind and Summon as my ability from that, and then choose what to do with my remaining 4 character levels. So each character level you have, you look at a class that you want, and you take a skill for that character class. Character classes start on page 176 in the core rulebook. Some skills have a star with a number next to them. That means that you can take that skill multiple times. The number next to the star refers to the maximum amount of times that you can take that skill. So with the Arcanist, for example, you can only take Bind and Summon 1 time. But you could take Emergency Arcanum 6 times. This isn't going to happen in our session, but you can only level a class to level 10, and then that's considered a mastered class. You would get a capstone or heroic skill, and then you could add a 4th character class to your character sheet. Does anybody have a character concept that they're thinking about but might need help picking classes for?
So question.
Yes.
On an earlier page, it shows like what it says classic characters. Those are just examples, right?
Correct. So if the example of the gunslinger, if you wanted to make a gunslinger, that gives you your fairly basic ability scores, because in Fabula Ultima you use dice instead of static numbers. So it's going to tell you which layout to take, where to put your dice, and then where to put your character levels at level when you start the game. And it tells you what gear you would get as well when you first start the game. You can, if you want to, take classes from any of the other Atlas books that I provided. Some of those classes are a bit more involved to set up and like get rolling. Some of them, not so much. Don't get hung up on the fact that if you're like, hey, I really want to take something from the Techno Fantasy Atlas, but I don't think it's going to work with the Noir 1920s thing. Fabula Ultima excels at reskinning. don't think of these character classes you're picking as character class. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons where you're going to be like, I'm a level 3 weaponsmith, weapon master, and a level 2 elementalist. You're making your own custom character class when you're doing this. Just think of them as categories for skills. Now, if you want to take, say, the pilot class, you could do that. And then you would probably not take the mech, obviously, but you could take either the steed or the exoskeleton. The steed could be a jelly-powered something contraption, or you could even use the mech possibly to do that, to make a vehicle for it. Or if you wanted to do something, I had somebody in one of my games that I played, they wanted to do a Power Ranger for their character. So we did pilot as the main class, with the exoskeleton being their morphed Power Ranger form. You can reskin all of this stuff to function how you want it to function. The one thing I would say is at least somebody, is probably going to want to take some kind of healing ability. The game looks cute with its anime aesthetic. But combat does kind of hit kind of like those old Final Fantasies for the Nintendo. You could take a good chunk of damage and then you got to heal. So nobody has to be a dedicated healer. There are a lot of healing options in this game, but somebody taking one of those would be beneficial.
So what I wanted to kind of do was the kind of like was the Dragoon kind of from Final Fantasy.
Yes.
And the way that I kind of thought that might work best would be like, so having the spear would just be like the thing that I would buy, but doing like Weapon Master and like Dark Blade was what I was thinking.
Okay. You can do it however you'd like to do it. There are 1,000 ways to do this. How are you going to handle the jump, if at all?
That I just didn't know how that would work in this, or like what class I would want to do for that.
Okay. So, I could steer you toward looking at the Elementalist. There is a spell that they have called Soaring Strike. Soaring Strike is basically the jump for Dragoons. The wind carries your strike across the battlefield. You may immediately perform a free attack with a melee weapon that you have equipped. This attack may target creatures that can only be targeted by ranged attacks. So Fabula Ultima also doesn't care about tactics like D&D. Like, you're not going to be worried about your placement on the map. It's going to be a you go, I go system. The only thing that you have to worry about is melee attackers cannot hit flying targets. Soaring Strike would allow you to hit those flying targets. You need a ranged weapon to hit flyers in this system. If the weapon you're using is belonging to the brawling or spear category, for this attack, it deals 5 extra damage. If you hit a flying target, you may force it to land immediately.
That sounds exactly like what I want. So
what I would recommend doing is look at Elementalist for that skill, because you'd have to take Elemental Magic, and then take a look at Spellblade as well. Spellblade is one of their abilities that will allow you to replace the typical spell casting stat when you go to cast a spell.
Yeah.
And instead, you could cast that spell through your spear. And you would use your spear's weapons accuracy check rather than the spell accuracy check.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at too when you were talking about Elementalist.
Yep. Now, when you take a class, you get the free benefits immediately. This is a one-time thing. So you would, if you do this, you would mark Elementalist down on your sheet. I don't know how many levels you're going to take with Elementalist. Let's just say 2, one for Elemental Magic, one for Spellblade. So you'd have 3 levels left over to do with other classes. You would add 5 points to your mind, because you would start with a base 5 mind points. You would also be able to perform rituals inside the ritualism discipline. Every class has those free benefits right above the skills. Make sure you mark those down on your character sheets. Rituals are super cool. I didn't like them initially. I was like, these things are dumb. It's just meh. Start using them. They're actually awesome. It is Fabula Ultima's open magic system. You cannot do damage directly with these things, but it's there to fill in the gaps for where there isn't a spell that does the thing. So in one of the games I'm playing in, I teleported my group from one place to another place using rituals. Does anybody have any other questions or looking for a bit of advice for maybe a character build that you're not quite sure how to snag?
I think I've got one.
Okay.
Do you want me to just talk about the classes part first, or
what are you looking to do?
looking to see if this makes sense, because I think it
Okay.
makes sense. So I want to be if I use adjectives to describe my character, I'm a young, charming, treasure hunting merchant. That's
Okay.
like my general vibe, which means I was looking at level 2 wayfarer which then would give me a companion, right? And then level 2 tinkerer, which I could then potentially use to make things, whether it be like potions for healing or something else, based on what I quickly was scanning through. And then a level 1 lore master. So basically 3 classes.
Okay. So with Wayfarer, level 2, you're going to put both points into Faithful Companion?
That feels like what I would want to do, yeah.
Okay. And Tinker, how many points?
2.
2. And you're going for the
Yeah.
potions?
Yep.
Okay. So gadgets, potions, 2. Are you going to do 1 point in gadgets or 2 for potion rain or secret formula? There's a lot that you can do there with that one. There's a lot of things that go into potions.
Okay, let me go
Tinkers.
to the Tinkerer real quick here, so I can take a look at what you're talking about.
Take a look at initially there's alchemy.
Yep.
And then there's potion rain. When you create a potion that restores a single creature's HP or MP, you have an effect up to skill level additional creatures.
Mm-hmm.
If you do, the potion only restores half the amount, but it hits those additional creatures. Then you have secret formula. When you create a potion or magisphere whose effects restore hit points or mind points, that's increased by skill level times 5. When you do an elemental shard, potion, or magisphere, that's just from that deals damage. That item that deals damage, it deals skill level extra damage. So either 5 or 1, depending on what you're looking to do.
Gotcha. So inherently, I can only, how many of these skills that I can pick? I can just pick 1 skill?
1 per character level.
Got it.
So if you're doing 2 into Tinker, you can pick 2 skills, or you can pick 1 skill and put 2 points in it. So Potion Rain can be taken twice. Secret Formula can be taken 5 times. Gadgets can be taken 5 times. With Tinkerers, gadgets, that's your bread and butter skill.
Yeah.
So when you take it the first time, you only get the basic benefits. The second time, you get the advanced.
Yeah, and then if I were to look at, let's see. Okay, I think I'm tracking here. I'm trying to see. So with the gadgets piece, let's see. So is that under invention types then?
Yes.
On the next page? Okay, got it.
It's under invention types. So your first one.
Yeah, then I'm gonna do 2 in gadgets then. I can tell you right now.
Yep.
That's gonna give me a lot more. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, so you'll roll 3d20s and assign one for each target, one for each effect.
Yep.
You get the advanced thing. That's going to cost you 4 inventory points each time you do that.
Okay.
So this isn't something you're going to be doing a lot in the game because you start with 6 inventory points. Now with the Tinkerer, you get a permanent increase of 2, and with the Wayfarer, you get another increase of 2. So that's 6, 8. You have 8 total inventory points to play with. You restore those by spending money at a store, and it's 10, basically 10 gold. It's called Zenit for each inventory point you're looking to restore. So these things can be really awesome, but it's not going to be like a cantrip where you're going to be doing this a lot.
Understood. Got it. And then I don't know so much, like, I just thought Lore Master was a cool accent for this build. So I would just pick one of those abilities based on level, right? Yeah, so I think I would probably... Yeah, I'm reading through them right now. No. I think I would pick... Flash of Insight would probably make sense.
Flash of Insight is awesome. The study check is so nice in this game. Something a lot of people ignore, but that's how you figure out the vulnerabilities, the weaknesses, what things are strong against, and where they regain hit points. Study is slept on.
Yeah. And so then, like, awesome. So then, that's going to be my my character build, because then I can start filling out the character sheet and stuff and kind of go from there. Do you want his name and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, put all that on the character sheet. I'll have you guys send me the character sheets when you're done with them.
Okay.
That way I can just audit, and then I'll send back, anything that I see. Be like, hey, just so you know, this is what I saw. This is a little off, or I'm just going to check for that kind of thing, discrepancies.
Okay. So, and then when it comes to the companion, it said in the book that, like, we all work together to determine my companion.
So that's what the book says. Yeah. So that's the way the book wants you to do it. Yeah. Honestly, I just have people make their own companions. Like, it's your companion. Okay. I think that's one time that the system tries to make something a group activity that it doesn't need to be.
Okay. Then here you go. I got it. All right. So my name is Ode, O-D-E. I am a blue-haired. I appear on the outside because I don't know what we would call it in this world, but I am a blue-haired, like, human type person, but I'm a cyclops. I only have one eye. And I'm younger. I'm very boisterous, eager to experience life and things, and I want to travel. I want to make stuff. I want to go on adventures. I want to learn, and I want to find and gather up exciting new things that I could ultimately then take back to this shop that I am sort of building, that's kind of was like a storefront I inherited from my parents, and so I just want to turn it into like an actual shop. So I'm like traveling merchant with no stuff, because I want to get stuff.
Okay.
Right.
So those things are going to be for on your character sheet. You're going to see something for identity.
Yep.
Just quick short sentence. Drop that on that part of the sheet.
Got
Theme. Theme is just an ideal or an emotion.
Yep. I put belonging.
Perfect. Yeah. And then your origin, where you're from, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm going to be from Papier Nouveau, and my companion is going to be a jelly dog.
Nice. Okay. Now the next thing that you're going to want to do, since you're that far, and we got the theme, identity, and origin,
Yeah.
On page 162 in the core rule book,
Yeah.
you're going to see determining your attributes. There are 3 dice loadouts that you get to choose from. Jack of all trades, it's a straight D8 in everything. Average is 1d10, 2d8s, and a d6.
Yeah.
Specialized is 2d10s, 2d6. Pick whichever one of those resonates with you the most and assign those to your different attributes. You're
And
also
that's just put into the base column?
Yep. So, like where it says might, put a d10.
Yep.
If that's what you want to do.
I can put them wherever. I just have to pick one of those sets of 4. Got it.
Correct. You pick one of those sets of 4, you place them wherever you want. What I would recommend you do is you look at your character abilities, because certain abilities do require you to make certain rolls. Okay. And you also have 500 Zenit to spend on starting gear.
Ooh.
And the only time that something truly, really matters when you're going to roll dice are spell dice. For, if you're casting a spell, if you're an arcanist, or I'm sorry, a wizard, for example, with the elementalist, you're going to roll insight plus willpower. And when you're swinging your weapon. So certain weapons use different attributes for their accuracy check. A iron hammer uses might plus might, but a pistol would use dexterity plus insight. Here's something else to pay attention to when you're choosing gear. Certain weapons and armor may have a red diamond next to them. That red diamond means it's a martial item. You may only take a martial item if one of your classes allows you to use martial items of that type. So a pistol is a martial ranged weapon. You, I don't think, picked a class that can use martial ranged weapons, so you can't use pistols. And I know you didn't take anything that gives you martial armor, so you're not going to be running around in runic plate either. So when you choose where to put your attributes, look at your abilities that you're going to use and your weapons. The thing that determines your hit points is your might. The thing that determines your magic points is your insight.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm good, because I think I can start working on filling mine out, right? Because do you have what you need?
Oh, I'm sorry. Willpower. Willpower. Your magic is your willpower.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, I think I'm good to go to fill out stuff, and then I'll just send it to you. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Your maximum inventory points to start with are 6. Everybody has a 6 in inventory points.
I have 8 though, right? Based on my
you
classes
have 8,
I picked.
Yes. Right? Because your classes gave you the bonus 2, and then the other bonus 2.
Got it.
Checking in. I haven't heard from. I'm going to go from the very far end of the screen and move my way over. Benjamin, how are you doing?
Still chipping away, figuring out what I want to do.
Next over on my list is Meg.
So earlier today, when I was flipping through the book, I was really intrigued by the classic character of the Valkyrie, because I've been wanting to play that in another game that I'm playing. And the things that I wrote down was a shape-shifting Valkyrie amnesiac. Mm-hmm. That was the first thing I wrote down. The next thing that I thought about was I also was really intrigued by the class of the Fury or the Weapon Master, because I keep coming back to this quote, keeps popping up in my real life of, is that the hill that you're going to die on? Well, one of us is. And I would love to build a character around that idea. And so that's why I was thinking kind of like a brawler class, like the Fury or the Weapon Master. But I want something that would balance that as well. And I think that's where I'm getting hung up. the book says, pair it with the Guardian or the Elementalist. But I don't know. That doesn't. I don't know. I'm not sold on those two at the moment.
So it really depends on where you kind of want to go with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Fury and Weapon Master, that's going to be your aggression.
Right.
You could, with the Fury, with one thing to know about some of these classes, you'll see where it says multi, where it says you can add multi attack. That only pertains to if you have multiple enemies that you're facing. You can't hit a single enemy 2 or 3 times.
Like twice, right. Okay, that's good.
But if there are 3 enemies on the field and you have multi 3, you can hit all 3 enemies with one attack. It's kind of like you rush from one and you rush to the next and you rush to the next.
Right.
So Weapon Master is going to give you the weapon damage. Right. Counterattack is awesome because if the enemy misses or hits and it's toward you and their attack is an even number, you just get to attack them. Boom.
Okay.
So you're angry. You can attack right away. You can force them to attack you more often with the Fury's Provoke, upping your chances of getting counterattacks, also taking aggro off of the people in your party.
Right.
And then you're looking at your balancing aspects. Because you could also, up your damage with Fury if you want, or up your damage with Weapon Master, depending on what kind of weapons you're going to use. Guardian is a good all-around fallback because you can just add extra hit points.
Okay.
Or you could just add extra armor points because you get to use like the really heavy armor with Guardian.
Okay.
And nothing ever goes wrong when you can add plate mail.
Right.
And Defensive Mastery it'll reduce the amount of damage you suffer for each point you put into that. Or Fortress will increase your maximum hit points by skill level ×3. So Guardian has a couple good balancing aspects to make you more survivable.
Yeah.
Whereas Elementalist, you could stack in things there just to do more damage. Like, I'm going to take, you could take, say, Spellblade. And as long as you're using one of those types of weapons that falls into it, which is bows, brawling, daggers, flails, spears, or swords, you use your weapon skill instead of your spell casting skill. And then you just cast your spells through your weapon. That's if you want to do more damage.
Right.
But you're going to have to balance out that mind point cost. Entropist, you could take entropic magic and take, say, Drain Vigor. So you can leech health from a target and raise yours, kind of like a self-heal.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of ways you could go.
Okay.
The guard action with Withstand, if you look at Fury, that's a really good one as well, because guard makes it so you're resistant to all damage types. And God, again, you have a really cool build that I can build lots of different ways.
Yeah.
Darkblade, if you wanted to look at keeping your character in crisis, where you're at half hit points or less, you have things like Agony, where you can recover hit points or mind points while you're in crisis. If you're in crisis, you can have resistance to poison or damage. You can do more damage. Like there's a lot. I'm sorry. There's so many different ways you can go.
Yeah. So I have studying to do, huh?
Yeah. I would say the tried and true, like if you just want to be like, I'm just going to fall on something just to like the safe option, like the safe options Guardian with either Fortress or Defensive Mastery. Those, like if you can't figure out any like cool thing you want to do, and I'm not saying this isn't the cool way to do it either, but those are like the ultimate safety skills in this situation.
Right. Okay.
And then let me look at my list because I'm going straight down it. Emma, you're up. How are you doing over there?
I'm doing good. So for my character, a while ago there was a character concept that I came up with, and I never really got to play with it. And it wasn't a D&D setting. The idea was the least bardy bard. And so they were kind of a mix of a bard and a rogue, and any magic that they did use was to get people to not pay attention to them.
Okay.
So kind of what I'm looking at, because I don't necessarily need to have that magic element in it, but I'm kind of looking at sharpshooter, rogue, and orator. I think that unexpected ally would be really funny. Like, hey, you're helping now.
Unexpected ally is cool.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of looking at a mix of those three. Right now, I have the sharpshooter, barrage, and crossfire. And then for rogue, I have cheap shot and see you later. And then for orator, it would be unexpected ally.
Okay. With barrage, that's the one that I do want to make just a special call out on, because the rule is buried in the book. That one gives you multi-attack. So that with that multi, you can't attack the same target twice. That only becomes valid if there are multiple targets on the field. So just wanted to toss that out there because that rule is buried. Did you say the other one was crossfire?
Yeah.
Crossfire is super handy. Super handy.
It looked pretty handy.
One of the game I'm playing in right now on every other Saturday, I'm doing Entropist, Sharpshooter, Arcanist. And crossfire gets used a lot.
Yeah.
I use a pistol, and my Entropist spells, they're bullets. They're not spells. So I don't cast spells so much as I have specialty bullets. I do cast rituals though. So yeah, there's a lot you could do there. Orator's so fun once you start to really get in the role with it.
Yeah. That's what I had kind of looked at some of the other ones on there as well. Let me pull it back up. I mean, persuasive always kind of hits.
My Trust in You is one I would recommend looking at. One of the people I play with, she got a lot of mileage out of My Trust in You.
Okay.
And as far as Rogue goes, was that the third one?
Yeah.
The only skill I would say just be mindful of would be See You Later.
Okay.
Where you spend an action point and you vanish from the current scene.
Yeah.
That is really handy, but once you're out, you're out. You don't get to come back into that scene. So
yeah, that's how it read.
Scene ends. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you make that decision.
Yes. Fabula Ultima is very specific in its language for its skills. So take the wording as at face value. There's no hidden meaning behind it. It means exactly what it says. Okay.
Good to know.
That's the only one I would say. Just be mindful of if you take it.
Okay.
It benches you once you use it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I did want to circle right back to Meg real quick. The shape-shifting part, you could totally do that. It just would not give you any mechanical benefits.
Right. Yeah. Oh no, I didn't expect that. No. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I haven't
totally
decided if I want to have that little quirk yet, but
yeah, that popped right into my head right at that moment. I'm like, oh wait. Squirrel.
Yeah.
All right. So are you good, Emma? Did you need any? Okay, perfect. And then that brings me to Christian.
Yeah, so now that I kind of know what I wanted to do, this is what I came up with. Okay. Elementalist for... Oh, I gotta find it again. For 3 levels, I took 2 levels of elemental magic and 1 level in Spellblade. And I did Darkblade for two levels. because I wanted Agony and I wanted Heart of Darkness.
Agony's cool.
I figured since it's a character who's like, I don't really care as much about like defense because I'm not holding a shield. I want to hold like a heavy spear. I'm gonna take some damage, and this is a good way to just like, I can make a bond of hatred towards a creature and get some health back and some mind points because I'm going to be spending a bunch with the 2 spells that I took, which are Soaring Strike and Elemental Weapon.
Awesome. And one of the things I'm going to do for all of you, because I have a virtual tabletop for this set up, when you send me your character sheets, I'm going to input them into the tabletop so they're functional. If you have a token that you want to use, that would be super handy if you sent it to me. I got a couple sites that I can send you that make tokens. I can just pop that up in there. But that would be super duper handy because then I can just upload it. For game day, I want to say if we can meet in like 15 minutes early just to go through the tabletop. It's Foundry. I promise you, I have it set up so it's super simple. It's not going to be hard to utilize at all. But a good 15 minutes beforehand would be super handy. And then I'm going to actually pop that right there. That's the token tool that I have. While that's going on, you guys are making your characters. We can do the last bit of the character creation side. And it's more the grouping. So what kind of group are you guys? There are several different types of group archetypes they give you in the book. The Brought Together by Fate, Guardians, Heroes of the Resistance, Revolutionaries, Seekers. Did any of those titles jump out to anybody?
What page was that again?
I know what? I can do a screen share.
Yes, you can. You should have approval.
Aha. There we go. So they start on page 221.
Yeah.
So the Brought Together by Fate. You're all traveling aboard the same vessel or transport. There's some different options for how you were brought together by fate. Guardians, you're seeking to protect something or somebody. Heroes of the Resistance. I mean, I think that one's pretty self-explanatory there. And then Revolutionaries and Seekers. Seekers are going out looking for something specific. But these would be why you became a group in the first place and why you continue to be a group.
I almost feel like Resistance, just with like how we had a Revolutionaries with like everything that we had been talking about with the world.
I do kind of like the Brought Together by Fate. Especially if we all end up being kind of very different character archetypes. It almost makes sense that it would be more of an accidental gathering of us, if you will. Like even just looking at the first option, you're all traveling aboard the same vessel or transport or as part of the same caravan when suddenly you're attacked. Like, I mean, I don't know, because I think whatever is decided, probably because of the way I'm building this character that I have, is that he's like an adventuring merchant trying to collect shit. So he's just gonna kind of be along for the ride. It's probably more of the initial starting thought process for him, I think.
Okay.
Because he's just trying to find stuff and he wants to be helpful, right? So like that's kind of his MO. So I think it'll fit. I think it'll fit with mostly anything, really, because I'll be like, oh, you guys seem like you're good people. Yeah, I'll travel with you, and then I can collect some stuff and I can help fight some bad guys, So I think my guy will be pretty vanilla in that regard with like his lore is not, I mean, there could be very deep lore in how he got to this point, but for the sake of this game, it's really just that, I think. So I'm kind of cool with whatever the group decides on, is my point, my long-winded point. So.
I almost think like, who was it that said revolutionaries? Or did anyone say that?
Emma said that.
Emma said that. I kind of like revolutionaries, especially because the idea that I was originally going with for my character was like a monster hunter person. So someone who like, and to connect it to this was maybe someone who like hunted monsters in the forest so that like the different corporations and businesses could get the trees to make paper products and lumber products. Maybe I got scorned by the companies. Bill, your character's like a merchant. Maybe same thing. Like, so we have like reasons we want to change the system that's currently going on, and that's why we're like, taking up arms almost like kind of against this like the two like ruling kind of corporations in the area.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, so revolutionaries it is.
Free the jelly. Free the jelly. Down with the custard. Eric, question, like how into our characters' backstories do we get in character creation, like with each other, or is that something that we do just like keep between like ourselves and you?
Oh, I prefer if you guys all talk to each other and get that all like. I don't like the whole secrets thing as a GM. I think that it's really played out as a trope, and it causes more issues than not. And when we're running one shots or two shots, like short campaigns, we're most likely not going to be playing long enough to make any of these secrets actually become not secrets. Mm-hmm. So why hide it? It can only make good material for you guys to bounce things off of and become more of a cohesive group before we even start playing. So I would recommend not having any secrets. Work together on your character creation and your backstories.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the Discord, I feel like.
Yeah.
Drop it all in there. And that's everything I have for you guys for session 0 for Fabula Ultima.
Awesome. Cool.
We're right about that 2-hour mark too, by the way.
So question, should we have channels? I mean, I don't know that I want to get it too bogged down, but in case we revisit games, should we have channels that are like dedicated for the different games?
Oh, I would do that just for, just to be able to go back and look at what we did. Yeah. Let's set up a Fabula Ultima channel. And then whatever games we play, just add more channels to the thing. Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
Done.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yep. I'll get the.
You guys know
I have
I'm right on it.
I saw it pop up. I got the tabletop set up. I'll get a link ready to go out like the day before game. It's a really, like I said, it's an easy tabletop. I'll walk you through how to do the things that we need to do.
Is there a need to set up an account?
No, okay. Not at all. Cool. I'm going to have you guys tunnel directly in, and no need for accounts. The only thing that I'll do is I'll need your character name. That way, when you log in, I'll have your token set up. You just claim it, and you're going to be good to go. Okay. Because I'll put your characters into the system before game day starts, so it'll be ready to go.
Okay. Perfect. How exciting!
Yeah,
me too.
So, what do you guys think of a Fabula Ultima Session 0?
Oh, this was so great.
This was fun.
Yeah,
this was cool. Yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, one thing I do want you all to mark on your character sheet, and we'll go over this while play as well, is you all have 3 Fabula points. This is the thing that I had to really hammer into the players that I play with when I was running the game. Those are experience points. You want to spend them. For every point you spend, it builds up to you getting more experience. What those points are is they're a meta currency. You can use them for a lot of things. So first thing and the most obvious thing is you can use them to re-roll dice. You just have to have a character reason for re-rolling the dice. And that's going to go toward your theme or your origin or your, theme, origin, identity. One of those things will trigger a re-roll. So you can't just be like, I want to re-roll because I want to re-roll. All right, well, why do you want to re-roll? What's triggering this with your character? My identity. Because I'm from this town, I know where to go, so I should have made that roll. Like I should have been able to outrun these guys and hide in an alley before they spotted me. Okay, cool. Yeah, re-roll. You could also invoke a bond. A bond is an emotional tie to anything. It could be a character, it can be a place, a group, an organization. Your bonds really don't matter. You can have up to 3 levels with them, and each level is an emotion. So you have admiration, you have loyalty, and then there's an opposite for each one. Hatred's one. So let's say you can have admiration, but you can't have hatred. So you can only have one of each of pairings. If you invoke a Fabula point there, you just get a straight bonus to your roll. So let's say you're 2 points away and we want to save Bill's character from falling off a ledge. Your roll was 2 points shy, but you have 2 points in a bond. You have 2 bonds with Bill. So you can say, I'm just going to invoke a Fabula point. You get a +2 to that. You automatically become successful in that test. The third thing you can use it for is to add story elements. And this is where I want to say, don't be scared. Do this if you can think of something. The best example I can give is from a game that one of the first games I ran for this. I had a group of players. They were looking for an airship. And they came across a group of bandits, and there was going to be a fight. But one of the party members said, I don't want to fight these people. Instead, I want to spend a Fabula point and create a bigger, nastier group of bandits that I'm going to claim to be a member of. And I'm going to tell these ones, if, they fight me, my bandit brothers are going to come and, mess them up. I was like, okay, you created that group of bandits. And yeah, they are obviously going to be terrified of crossing the biggest group of bandits in this area. So they're going to leave you alone. Now in that world, that player created the biggest, baddest group of bandits in that area. That is now a canonical thing that exists. Those bandits are now part of the game. You can do that to create things like that. You could say, well, it'd be really nice if there was some kind of exit, somewhere around here, or we've been traveling around for a while. It'd be really cool if we stumbled across a town. There should be a town there. Okay, cool. What's that town's name? You just created a town and put it on the map. The only rules are you cannot override what another player or storyteller has created. So if I say there's a town in front of you, you can't go, I spent a Fabula point. That town doesn't exist. Can't do that. And you can't take something that a player did. We'll just use that bandit example. Spend a Fabula point to erase those bandits from the game. Sorry, it's already there. It exists. I mean, if the player says, you know what? Yeah, I was bluffing the entire time. Go ahead, use your Fabula point to make that not real. Then okay, because you both made the agreement. But unless there's agreement, no, you can't spend your points that way. Other than that, pretty much fair game. And like I said, each point you spend counts toward experience that you earn at the end of the game. So you want to spend your Fabula points. I have a counter currency. It's called Ultima points. I can do that. I can do all the same things that you can do with Fabula points. So if I'm not happy with the dice I rolled, I can re-roll my dice. If I need to create something in the area to mess with you guys with, I can do that. But you want me to spend those points too, because every one that I spend also builds toward the experience that you earn at the end of the session. So Spend your points.
Okay.
Do stuff with them. Even if it's just re-rolling your dice. Do stuff with your points. And that's all I got for you guys tonight.
Before we head out, I do have a question about my character really quick.
Yes.
So I've just been really like listening to everyone just trying to learn, but I'm thinking I want to do like a charming factory worker with the heart of gold. So I do want to be a dapper cat. So he wears like kind of like a 1920s like cat suit, but it's like a suit of armor, so it looks like a suit, but it is like armor, has like the little tie and everything. And I thought like maybe for my multi-classing, I know order I want, especially with like healer, like encourage and my trust in you. But for the other class, I don't really know. I was like thinking maybe guardian, but I'm not quite sure.
Okay. So question would be, what do you want to do in combat?
I definitely want to be. I always like being the player that boosts other players. Like I'm aiding others, like making them a little bit beefed up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes great sense. I would suggest looking at Spiritist. They're kind of your healer class, but they also have spells like Barrier, which increase the defense rating of whoever you cast that on. Cleanse, which can remove status effects. Enrage can do things to make enemies harder to, like they can't cast spells or they can't guard, so you can reduce their effectiveness. Awaken, you can increase one of the attributes up a dice size for whoever you cast that on. So if somebody has a D10 in dexterity, you could be like, no, you don't. You have a D12, and you make it more likely that they'll be able to do the thing that they want to do. So that could do that, like that part of it for you. Guardian's nice just to give you survivability. Extra armor, extra
I do like
health.
that though. I like the Spiritist a lot. Just the way you pitched it.
And of course, they have healing.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know if there's really anything else other than I'm assuming you're okay with like, because I'm an artist, so like if I like in the next day or two, I can provide you with like my own painting of like my portrait of the character. Is that okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with whatever anybody wants to do. I may have Grognard in my name, but I'm like the most easygoing, chill DM in the world.
Cool. Okay.
I'm taking it back. Grognard got such a bad connotation.
Ben, I kind of think you have to do it for everybody. If you do it for you, though, it probably should be part of the deal. You have to do everybody's character.
Oh yeah, free artwork for everybody. For the duration of the show.
You have time for that, right?
Yeah.
Sure, buddy.
Sure, pal. I can work that in for you.
Yeah, so anyways, I would like an entire like mural to go with it.
Real talk though, I might end up hitting you up for a Ninja Turtles game that I'm running here soon.
Yeah, I'll get that to you in here in about a day or two.
Awesome. Awesome possum.
That everything?
I think so. I don't think there was anything else. I'll send you the character sheet if there's anything wrong. Just say something.
Oh yeah, I'll look over the character sheets over the weekend because I do not have we're not playing this weekend, so I have this weekend free. I'm just doing general recording, so I'll look over them probably Saturday, and then send off anything that I see with them. If it's something that's just a really easy fix, I'll just fix it. But I'm talking like if it's just like a wording glitch or something, but I'm just going to move it into the character sheet on Foundry. anything that needs your approval, like an actual like change or an edit, I'll go ahead and let you know. But like if you calculated hit points wrong, don't worry about that. I'll handle that. I'll fix it. I'll let you know. Be like, hey, this came up at this amount actually, but I'll just fix like that kind of thing for you.
Okay.
I found a site called Fultimator that helps a lot with making
Ultimator's nice. It's sometimes not entirely accurate.
Okay.
But it's nice. It's super handy. It's actually what I used to use to make enemies, because it's got a really good bestiary setup for being able to create your own and then publish.
I just liked that it had like all of the stuff for the different classes so that it was really easy to navigate.
Yep. Polio. Awesome.
Nice.
I got a lot of stuff to sift through here and make a 5-room dungeon style session.
I love the world that we all created.
It's super fun.
I'm super excited.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. I love running session zeros for this game. It's a lot of fun to do them.
This is probably my favorite session 0. It's never been like this. Like everyone's so involved in creative, like creating everything about it. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
Favorite session 0 so far.
Yeah.
I won't have anything to do for session 0. I'm just throwing you guys right into it with aliens.
Nice.
I love that game too.
I'm so excited. I will ask you guys ahead of time, like what kind of game you want to run, because I have like all 3 of the modules ready. So
I can't wait to watch you all play as old ladies trying to
I'm
solve a
super
mystery.
excited for that.
Yeah, that one I'm stoked about. Totally.
Like, what are we gonna do, Scoob?
I played a game as a baking princess. I'm sure I can pull off old lady.
Yeah, and at some point we are going to play Perils and Princesses as well.
It's good.
Oh,
I know. I've run it once, and it's so fun.
It is.
Love it.
Like take it from the old bearded gray, the old gray beard. Perils and Princesses is fun.
Yeah, for sure. And I realized like that if you shorten it, it's like you can say it's P&P. I just get a kick. I get a kick out of that for some reason. I don't know why. Because it rhymes with D&D, but it's actually better in my opinion. Just saying. It might be a hot take, but take that for what it's worth. Oh, guys, also start just like maybe put it in like a general discussion or whatever, or the discussion or whatever of like, if you think of ideas of what to call this thing, just throw them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Okay.
Would like to see some ideas for a name for this, for our humble little pod here that we're gonna put together. So I'm looking forward to that because I can build up about like four sessions or so. I would say 4 to 5, about a monthish worth, and then start then. So between now and then, it would be good to have like a name and stuff like that, because then I can do the voiceover intros and all that fun stuff. And also happy to take anybody else who would want to do any voice parts of it and send me recordings as well that I can just mix in. That's fine too. I don't always have to introduce it and stuff like that.
I'll be happy to give you the inner world thing that I've got going on.
We just start every session like that, in a world, and then it's like a completely different system, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god! What if
funny.
that's the name of it? In a world.
In a world.
Yeah.
Anyway,
On a table.
Put names in the chat so we can like either vote on them, talk about them, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Eric,
I'm
do you have
gonna
anything
add
else?
in a new text channel and just have it be name discussion.
There you go.
And let's make a pact with each other every day until the next session. We each put in like one new name idea that's like
Oh dear God.
I don't know if I can commit to that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'll try.
I have a hard enough time remembering to eat every day, let alone come up with a name for a
Then
podcast.
maybe you know what? I always shoot for the stars, you know? So like let's try to do that, but like at least one new idea from everybody by the end of the week. Or by the end of the week, meaning by next session.
That sounds good.
Okay.
You know, and if you can put more, great.
Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm gonna stop recording because I think we're good.
I got nothing.
Thanks for listening to our very first session of the Playtesters. We hope you enjoyed sitting at the table with us as we built our world for Fabula Ultima. Be sure to come back for the next session and play through our one-shot of Fabula Ultima. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you again soon.